It has been 3 years since I last used this client, and let me just say, a lot has changed. They've restored loads of areas, added in different cosmetics from the 2009 to 2011 era, added in different music, and added plugins. That's right, we have plugins in the client now. That was a major news for most of us who are trying to move from RuneLite over here but couldn't deal with the no plugin thing. We have them now. It's perfect. So you've probably heard the news that this client is now available through the Jagex Launcher, which has sparked a lot of interest in players, and this video will serve as a quick guide to get yourself up and running with the HDOS client. First off, you'll need to download the client from HDOS's website, which is just hdos.dev. So you go here, and then go to download, and then select whichever download fits the operating system you are currently using. Most of you will be Windows 64-bit, but again, pick whichever one you need to, and then that should download, and then open it up, and you should be good. So once you've downloaded HDOS, if you had the Jagex Launcher up previously, you're probably going to need to just restart the launcher, but then under the game client, you should have HDOS available, and then from there, just select the account you want to play with. Yes, that is an alt, and then click play. Alright, now that we have all that done, let's get your RuneLite settings imported into HDOS. So log into the game and click on the quick settings panel right here. There will be this little section called profiles. If it's minimized, just click show more and it'll pop up this little text box. All you need to do to get your RuneLite settings in is go to import profile, go to import from RuneLite, and import config profile. Select whichever profile it is. I'll use default for mine, and then that will bring in your settings. Now I already have this here and I just renamed it, so I'm going to delete that profile. And there we go. I have my profile from RuneLite already in here. Now, if you have stuff like your loot tracker that you want to keep in here, because I do for the collection log videos I'm currently doing, I can't show you that because I'm still working on it and it's been a very long work in progress. But if you want to bring that in, all you need to do is go to import profile, go to import from RuneLite, and then click import RS profile, and that will take in any like account specific stuff. So the main thing is the loot track, but if you have anything that is account specific, that will be imported via the import RuneScape profile. So now that we have all that imported, go through your plugins and mess around with them, see what's there that you may not have been imported in for whatever reason. And if you need to configure anything, the only thing you need to do is just go to whatever thing you want to mess with. So like bank tag layouts, I just go here, I right click on it, go to configure, and it will open up these little menus that you can mess around with just like in RuneLite. So remember that you are importing RuneLite plugin settings. Anything from the plugin hub will not save your settings because it's not directly tied to RuneLite. So you may import your profile over and there may be like a few things that you need to mess around with. I think I needed to mess around with like maybe 5 plugins to get them all set up to how I wanted. But for the most part, like you're just going to bring in your settings and it's going to be good to go for the most part. And now the whole reason that most people are probably going to use this client is for the graphics. So let's showcase those a little bit. So you're going to go to settings, you're going to go to display settings, which is the third tab. You go to all settings. You can also access all your plugins from here as well, which is nice. It's another place to access it instead of the quick access menu over here. But once we're here, we're going to go to display, and here's where you can mess with everything. Obviously hide roofs and scroll wheel can change zoom distance. That's all normal stuff. But here's the HDOS stuff. They have some presets that will just automatically change all their settings for you. So you can go all the way down to standard detail, which some of you may remember. This is how my computer looked when I was using it, when I was playing on the client, because it was a family computer, and God knows we didn't have a powerful family computer, but as you can see, it's pretty standard detail, pretty low detail, but you can also just go all the way up to ultra, which just completely changes everything. Like, look at this, look at all this stuff. It looks so neat now. Like the water looks nice, and look at the zoom distance. Like I said, this is massive. Look, I can see stuff I have marked over here. That is crazy. And all this is clickable. Like, look, I can click all the way over there and it appears. Now I can't move there because there's like walls and stuff in the way, but it's crazy. Anyway, back to the graphical settings, back to display. So you can select your presets, obviously, but you can mess around with whatever you want. So things like your view distance can be changed here, seamless region loading, idle animations, you can turn off and on the fog. My friend and I were messing around with this and we couldn't really figure it out, but it's an option there. NPCs in the distance, so you can see them, but you can't interact with them. Like I said earlier, yes, that view distance is very far, but you can't interact with anything that far. You can just click to run there. So you can mess around with other things like ground decorations, ground blending, bloom, turn on the textures. You can make the textures low or high if you want. As you can see, turn down to low. and all the textures kind of get a little more not fine. But if you turn it up to high, things just look, you know, a little bit neater. Like the lines look a little bit more crisp. Mess with anti-aliasing, set your frame rate cap, interface scaling, which just goes crazy. And you can also turn on the custom cursor if you don't like the HD client cursor. Now remember that the graphics are really the selling point of HDOS. Like the main reason you're going to play this client is because you like the graphics. Because I mean, like, look at this Infernal cape. Like, some of you may not like it, but like to me that looks sick. I like the bloom on it. It's kind of like the completionist cape from RS3. You also got like the max cape, which just has the white one. Obviously you can't change these blooms, but they have them. I think the Masori max cape, my friend has it, I don't because I haven't done Toa, has like a gold and black bloom at the bottom, which is nice. The arc light looks really nice. You have the Inferno ads, like you have the old Void. If you have just Elite Void, like you have the old Elite Void, it just looks nice, dude. Like, play around with it, see what you like, see what you don't like, but that's the whole selling point of this, is the graphics. So play around with it and just kind of enjoy your nostalgia. Oh, also the Void Waker is totally a Karasi in this client. Now, if you encounter a bug, which may happen, remember this client is still in beta. If you encounter a bug, all you need to do is go to help and click report issue. What this will do is it will bring up a GitLab form, which if you aren't already signed into GitLab, you'll just need to sign in with your account. If you don't, you'll need to make one. Again, I always recommend do not use any RuneScape credentials on any site other than RuneScape. So do not sign in or create a profile with your old school RuneScape login. That's just stupid. Make a different account. Once you've done that and you've logged in, this form will appear and is where you can type your issue. So you can title your issue, I love Brainfree, who's one of the devs. And then type issue, you can only do an issue, and then you fill out the form as follows. So this issue's not a duplicate, it's not, because I don't think anyone's really told them this. Fill out these columns, so like you'll write the HDOS version here. So I would open up HDOS and it would say, oh, version 4.11. So I would go here and I would type in 4.11. And then consider the bug, I think you're a king. And then to reproduce, so here if you have like a video clip of it or something, or you have specific steps to recreate the bug, write it in. It's going to help the devs get in and actually fix your problem because they can recreate it. Just being you. And then screenshots, this is where you can post screenshots or the video footage as well. So if you want to suggest something to the devs, you just change the description to feature requests and then fill out things. So is your feature request a suggestion or related to an already existing problem? So if there's something that they already have implemented into the game and you want to add a suggestion on how to fix it, this is where you would talk about. And then a clear and concise addition to suggestion. So this is where you would type about anything that you wanted to add. So something that's completely new, like let's say you wanted like the clan events plugin or just a plugin that's not already in the game. This is where you would post it. This is where you would write about it, is I want this or this or this. And remember, it's just like, I think it's like 1 or 2 people that are working on this. So give them time. It's a passion project. They've just been doing it because they really like this era of RuneScape. So work with them. They'll be happy to work with you. Just submit the form and you'll be good to go. And finally, just something else I want to mention. If you have any questions about the client or need any guidance on what to do, I already mentioned this earlier, just go to their Discord. It's super active. The devs, the mods, the admins, they're all active in here. And if you have a question, just ask about it. People are good. They'll have funny questions or funny answers, just, you know, funny vibes in general. So just hop in here and ask your question. There's tons of different channels and tons of different ways to get to know people or get to ask your questions. So pop in here, ask a question, and there will surely be some veteran that can help you out with whatever problem it is that you are having. And now a couple love notes to you all from me, because I love you all so much. To make a home world, all you need to do is go in here and pick whatever world you want. So like 347, press the little heart next to it, exit this, and then select your favorite. There you go. The world is now your favorite. It doesn't work with all the worlds though, unfortunately. So when this login screen was brought in, it was only brought in with the base worlds. So there's quite a handful of worlds that don't work with it, but you can still just favorite the worlds like you would with RuneLite and just log into the game and hop to whatever world your normal home world is. So like my home world is 513 or 573, depending on which one's treating me nicer. So I can decide and just click on it to log in and then just play and do it that way, but I cannot favorite that world, so I can't really make it a home world. But if I go into the actual game and I go to the world switcher, both my favorites are right here, so I can easily switch between them if I need to. Another big request we've been seeing from a lot of people today is inventory setups, which the devs are not implementing anytime soon, since they have bank tags already in the game. And so the reason they say that is because bank tags offer a very similar service to that of inventory setups. So all you really need to do to work alongside this is to have bank tags enabled and then set up your bank tag accordingly. Now, if your bank tags don't look like this, chances are you don't have bank tag layouts set up. And if you don't have this turned on, then what you'll want to do is turn this on. And what this will do is it will allow you to remove the lines basically between your bank tabs, so you don't have, typically like your bank tag would just have like these lines for whatever tab your items are in, but with this it removes that, so you can really kind of set up your bank tag to be however you want. So like this is my elite clue tab, so all I'll do is just go through and I'll withdraw everything in a zigzag like most people like to do, and then I'll equip it all, deposit my inventory, and then I can go through and withdraw everything that I want, grab all this, and I'm good to go. Clue's ready to go. All I need is a clue scroll in my inventory, but I'm good to go now. It takes a little bit of setup, but once it's set up, you don't ever need to consult anything. You don't need to look at a note or anything. Obviously, it's a different thing. It's different than inventory setups, right? But it serves a very similar purpose. So if inventory setups are really make or break for you, I hope that this is at least a good holdover until they can implement those into the game. But until then, this is the best we've got. And I've never used inventory setups, but I think this works pretty well. So give it a try. I hope you guys found this video helpful and helps you get started on your HDOS journey. This whole client really is a passion project for the devs, as I mentioned earlier, and they've been hard at work on this thing for like over 3 years at this point. So please, if this interests you, give it a shot and try it out. Honestly, for me, I'll probably be using this client quite a bit just because of the FPS upgrade and all the graphics now. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe for more HDOS content. And no, the collection log series isn't dead, just this next boss I'm doing has taken way longer than I think any of us could have anticipated. Oh, and here's one more for y'all. Look, it's the Agile outfit, but green, because it's green graceful. Isn't that neat?